And we're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we're trying to work through some technical difficulties. I'm not sure, it's a little draggy on the old camera.
It is, yeah. That's all right. We'll work through it.
Audio's working. It's all we need to work.
That's all we need.
Yeah. We don't. He's got a pretty face, whether it's still or moving like it should.
Yeah, we'll just hold a photo up.
Yeah. Valentine's Day taken care of. You got to take care of for your significant other.
No.
Okay. There we go. So he has work to do.
Yep.
Yes, you do. So before you go home, I would take care of that.
Yeah, probably going.
I would think. I think it'd be a smart thing to do. Because I've already heard in here a couple ladies got flowers, and one of them said, "Gosh, I never get flowers." I thought, "Uh-oh." So
gotta get some flowers, man.
we gotta get something. Food City's that Cupid combo. You get flowers, and she likes chocolate dipped strawberries.
Oh,
You don't know if she likes strawberries? No. Well, I take them off anyway. Flowers and chocolate dipped strawberries. There you go. If she don't want them, Big Zeb will eat them. There you go.
That's right.
All right. He's here. Let's get him on the air. Or he's on the air. What's going on with Spring? Got some new promotions, is that right?
Not a whole lot changed. Really, as you see, most of everything's the same. The new stuff we've got going on, though, is the Galaxy S8 is $8 a month for new activations. So that dropped in price. The S8 Plus, $12 a month. And then the Galaxy Note 8 is $18 a month. So a little bit of a price drop on all those, to be honest with you. So that's a pretty good deal. We've got the Motorola Z Force 2 device right now. If you lease one of those, you get an Amazon Alexa for free. So we've got that going on. Every tablet right now is $100 off. That includes the iPad 5th generation, the iPad Pro 10.5, and the big boy, what we got here. You know, look how big this thing is. I got a big head. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Scoot him up in there a little closer. There you go.
That's a big tablet.
Yeah.
That's a big old tablet.
It's a nice tablet, too. What's that go for?
I believe it's $30 a month after the credit. This one right here is 12.9 inches, so it's like having a small TV. It's almost as big as your computer there.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But every tablet's $100 off, and then we've also got the free G-Pad like what you've got over here. We've given those away for free right now, so that's still going on. They continued that.
There you go.
Yep. The iPhone 8, lease one, get one. They extended that promotion. So if you need to add a new line of service and somebody needs to upgrade, or you need to do 2 new activations, you get one of them for free. So pretty good deal there. And then the iPhone 10 for $30 a month is still going on. That's a discount of $11.67 a month.
Times 12 months, it's over 110, 120, right around 130 bucks you're going to save.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
on a month. I mean, on a year.
Yeah. The best savings that we've got is the 5 lines for $100. So 5 lines of service for $100 a month. Comes with Hulu for free. So you streamers out there, if you want to watch TV the next day, it's free. Comes with it. And then if you don't need nothing out crazy, newest, latest, and greatest, we do have 5 Moto E4 phones for free. Very good entry-level Android phone. A lot of people like that, especially if they're new to smartphones or something like that. They don't need a whole lot. It works great for them, especially for being free. You can't beat that. That's about all I got, though. We went through that pretty quick.
Because he's hungry. All right. So now, how do I get this turned back around? You told me how to do this.
You should just hold it straight up. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Right. Now, since last week, you come here every week.
Mm-hmm.
What's been happening? What have you personally moved and sold since last? Hello, Abby. How are you? Good. What's been the hot seller? What have you been moving a lot of in Sprint since last week? iPhones.
Yeah, they've been
the 10s.
We've sold a few 10s. Most people are taking advantage of that. Lease one, get one. They're getting the phone for free. Can't beat that. I will tell you one thing I did though over the weekend was I got me a smoker.
Oh,
Yeah, smoked me a pork shoulder.
did you really?
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty good.
uh-huh. Got him a smoker, smoked him a pork shoulder.
That's right.
And what did you put on that pork shoulder? Did
Well,
you?
my wife did all that.
Oh,
She made her own rub, and it was delicious.
good.
Now I think next time though we're gonna go. Next time we're at Phil's Dream Pit, I'm gonna get some.
His sauce.
Well, and he said he sells the rub too, so I think I might try that out and see how that does. Yeah, it was delicious though. I have to bring you some.
Yeah, smoked pork shoulder. How long take you to smoke it?
About 8 hours.
8 hours. Ooh, tender.
Oh yeah.
Fall off the bone.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
It was good.
All right. So there you go. When he's not selling phones, he's Chef Boyardee, Chef Boyardee.
Smoking on meat.
There you go. We're talking to Zeb Cub. You see on the screen, we're live here. Coming up, Greg Salyer joins us at the top of the hour talking Major League Baseball. Jeff Birchfield will be in here in a little while. He'll be talking about NASCAR, getting ready for the Daytona 500. You a NASCAR guy? You like NASCAR?
All right.
What's your favorite sport? I don't think I've ever asked you that. What do you watch at home? Football, basketball, baseball?
Usually it's college football or UFC. I like some UFC. I usually watch about every pay-per-view.
Yeah. What is UFC?
Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Oh. Yeah, the boxing?
No, it's not the. It's the. I mean, they do, I guess, technically box, but it's the.
They tackle him and hit him and all that?
MMA,
Yeah.
mixed martial arts. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was watching the other night. I guess they're in a cage.
Yep.
And this guy sucker punched this guy and then tackled him, and this is pounding him, and then he wrapped him. The other one got back up, he bear hugged him, he kicked him in the groin, and it's like, you gotta keep waiting. I'm thinking, is this like a boxing and wrestling rolled into one? Yeah.
Everything in one, yeah. You pick
So-
your fighting style, and the other one's gotta try to outdo you.
So would you be a wrestler or would you be a boxer if you got in the ring? Which one would you do?
I'd probably be a wrestler.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah. Big boy. So, have you ever considered doing that?
I wrestled in middle school.
Did you really?
Yeah. Danny Boone.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I swear to you, I did.
Heavyweight, unlimited?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I did pretty good. Me and my buddy Sam, we were both the heavyweights.
Yeah.
Beer business.
So did you win a lot of matches?
I did it for like 2 years. We did pretty well.
Yeah, I would think so. Big boy.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot harder than it looks, though.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And the thing about wrestling, you get out there on the mat, ain't no place to hide, right? If you screw up, you make a bad move, you can't blame it on your teammate because there ain't one.
Nope. That's right.
And so, what is it, 3 minutes around for 3 rounds?
I think so, yeah.
And by the time
3
you're done,
minutes is a
long time. People think it don't take long, but yeah, you're out there in 3 minutes. It's like it can be
3 minutes is
forever.
30 minutes.
Yeah. If you're losing, it's a long time. If you're winning, it's not fast enough, right?
Yeah, that's
Because you
right.
want to pin this guy and get done with him.
Uh-huh.
That's good stuff. So I can see Big Zeb in the old wrestling uniform putting a hurt on people.
That's right.
All right, run them down one more time, the promotions, because we got some good things. This is the Sprint store in North Johnson City, right there in front of Longhorn Steakhouse. Good stuff. So all kinds of goodies. Run them down for us, big guy.
All right, we got Unlimited Freedom, which is the 5 lines, unlimited everything, talk, text, and data for $100 a month. It comes with Hulu, and if you need some free phones, we've got free Moto E4s, great entry-level Android phone. We've got the iPhone 10. It's at a discount of $11.67 off a month, which makes that phone $30 a month for new activations. So that's a pretty good savings right there. And the big deal, the one that most people take advantage of, is the iPhone 8 lease one, get one. So if you lease one iPhone 8, you get another one for free. One new activation is required there, so you can do an upgrade and a new line of service. And then the big seller is, well, I guess it's a seller. We give it away a lot, but it's that LG G-Pad. We're giving those away. So that's a really great deal right there. It comes with unlimited data, so you can use the device as much as you want. And if you're, say you're another Tom Taylor over here, and you need some hotspot, the device comes with 10 gigs of hotspot also. So we've got the Moto Z Force 2, very nice Android device. It's got a shatterproof display on it. It comes with the Amazon Alexa right now if you lease one of those. And then last but not least, this is the the big kicker. The Samsung promotion. Remember I was telling you how it's going to change?
Mm-hmm.
The S8 is $8 a month. $8 a month. The S8 Plus is 12, and then the Note 8 is 18. So really good deal there.
That is an incredible deal.
That's an incredible deal. Yeah, it is. I didn't think it could get much better than the half off, but it did.
It did.
Yeah.
S8 is $8 a month. The S8 Plus is $12 a month, and the Note Plus is
18.
$18 a month.
Note 8's 18.
Wow. You need to leave that with me. Do I have that somewhere I can use that as a reference point? Okay, please do. So there also is a brand new product that we're going to roll out next week. We're going to kind of make sure everything's where it needs to be, but it's called the Magic Box. It's essentially a mini cell tower. Yeah, it's a mini cell tower that Ronnie and I have been experimenting with and doing some sports coverage, and it looks like it's going to work. And it's called the Magic Box. It's brand spanking new from Sprint, and it's about yay big, and it sets and you turn it on, it becomes a miniature cell tower.
Yeah, essentially what it is it's a repeater. And Sprint provides if you need one at your house, and let's say your data signal's not the best there or inside a building. Some of the buildings, doesn't matter who you got. Sometimes some of the buildings the signal doesn't penetrate very well. You can put one of those Magic Boxes in there, and it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's ready to go. It's full
bam,
signal.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's right, full signal. And the speed is improved substantially. I think you used one the other day down in Elizabeth, didn't you?
I did. Works great. And so, in fact, I think Ronnie said I get to have my very own.
That's right, you do.
Yeah, he's getting ready to get my own. And
we're tailoring the experience to you, Tom.
We got a lot of baseball games coming up here in the starting March 13th, and we want to be able to go out and call ball games wherever we're going to following the Elizabeth and Cyclones. And so we're going to be able to take this Magic Box with us and enhance. Is that a good way to?
Yeah, that's really the word.
Enhances the signal.
It enhances the signal. Takes something that is whatever the signal is and improves it substantially. So the speed, most definitely, and the quality of the data is substantial. And what's amazing is most of the newer phones that we have are LTE calling plus. So what that allows you to do is make and receive calls over data, so you can make and receive calls with no issues too if you're having an issue in that area. Most areas around here, we don't have a problem with, but some buildings and stuff like that, we do have an issue.
You do.
Elizabeth High School, I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, these teachers are going to love this. And then I was like, I don't know, all them students are going to have service now. They ain't going to like that too much.
Well, I think there's kind of a no can do there on the old cell phone service for the students. The school's out every day. I believe is how that works. That's the way it is in most schools. There you go. So one more time, the 8 is for $8. Is that right?
Yep. Galaxy S8 for $8 a month.
Wow.
S8 Plus for $12, and then the Galaxy Note 8 is $18.
Incredible. That's a good deal right there.
It is.
Those are strong. Those will rock. And in the lease one, get one.
Lease one, get one on the iPhone 8.
iPhone 8. Yep. And then the
LG G Pad is free.
Free, and then the 10 is
$30 a month.
$30 a month. The brand spanking new 10 is $30 a month.
And then we've got that Motorola Z Force 2 with the free Amazon Alexa, so you can sit there and talk to that little thing. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. It's incredible what's coming out electronically from Sprint. Again, North Roan Street, right in front of the Longhorn Steakhouse here in Johnson City. Are you hungry? By the way, hello to Max Meadows and Mark Becky and Barry and all the folks over there. We'll be there Monday broadcasting live. We were there this past Monday, going back over there again this coming Monday and hanging out in Kingsport at Max Meadows and Mark. Everything good? You good? We done? You hungry? Where's Caleb, by the way? It's 2 weeks in a row he's been left in the dust.
Well, sometimes you got to leave him behind.
He's not too up on the fact that old Caleb's not with him today here. So
no, he's not a fan of coming in early. So
yeah, snooze you lose.
That's right.
There you go. the Zeb man says, I want to come here and I want to do this. And so, last thing too, if you're a small business and you don't have a tax ID, you can help them too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We do small business without a tax ID, which allows you to use your social to set up a business account. There's a couple benefits of that. Gives you business care, which is an American every single time. It's based out of Oklahoma City, so you don't have to talk to somebody anywhere else in the world. It's right here in the States. You get waived activation fees for the lifetime of the account, so that's a big deal too. That saves you $30 per month.
It's a real big deal.
And then you get to deal with me or my buddy Brandon Helbert at the store. So, we got one real tall guy and one real short guy. So, one of us will take care of you.
It's like Danny DeVito and
right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, or Robin Big, or whatever you want to call
There you
it.
go.
But both of us are really good with the business. If anybody has any questions about that or you're unsure if you qualify for a business account, reach out to Tom and he can get in touch with us, or you can call us at the store, 423-282-6353, or you can contact me on my cell phone at 423-946-8751, and we can check out and see if you would qualify for that business account and get you squared away.
There you go. That's my man Zeb Covers. Great job. Get you something to eat.
Yep.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk baseball with Greg Salyer. We're live here at the Tom Tony Sports Show. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Show number 688. They said it wouldn't work. Going strong. And so we are number 688 of the Tom Tony Sports Show. At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here, with the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
I'm with head baseball coach Ryan, president of Elizabeth and Cyclones. And, Coach, we're very excited, my friend. We're getting ready to double the coverage of Cyclone baseball this year. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, too. I think it's a big step for our program. We really believe that getting out there what our kids do and letting the community know what we're doing and what we're up to is very important. The weather can be bad in the spring, and it doesn't matter to us if the weather's bad. We're going to play. We've played in snow. We don't really care about that, but watching baseball in the snow is pretty tough. So I think it's a really good opportunity for our fans to keep up with us. And really, we've got a lot of fans that live in different states, and I think you saw that from the coverage last year. People in all different parts of the country and in the world watching and listening to Cyclone baseball. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely. And, of course, it all starts March the 13th against Sullivan Central. We got some great games lined up. And, hey, this year we're taking out on the road doing some games, most of the games at Twin Stadium, but we are going to be on the road this year, some big conference games too.
Absolutely. You look early on, us at East, we battled last year with East, and a lot of the same players back on both sides of the field this year. So we're going to be battling with the East early on, and game at Happy Valley, obviously big in-county rivalry. That's also a conference tilt for us, and then going on the road down to Smoky Stadium. We're going to be playing Pigeon Forge in Jefferson County. Jefferson County goes to the state tournament last year in 3A. We actually beat them last year, which was big for us. And just trying to expand what we're doing here with the program, and this is a big part of it, and we appreciate you coming on board.
Oh, absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. And, of course, it takes sponsorship to make it go, to drive the bus, if you will. And so you've lined up some great sponsors. Tell us some of the folks that are going to be helping out with the broadcast this year.
We're going to be headlined by Chick-Fil-A. So they're going to be our headline sponsor for the season. Game night sponsors actually got Carter County Bank and Appalachian Community Federal Credit Union. Physical therapy services from here in town. Tri-Cities Health is a great little outfit over on the edge of town between Elizabeth and Johnson City. Just super folks. Blackburn Children's in Stegall over in Johnson City. And we've even got Elizabeth High School Fellowship of Christian Athletes is coming on board. We're really happy to partner with them. They do a lot of great things here in the community and in the school.
It all starts March 13th. Again, it's going to be the Sullivan Central Cougars, our first one. First pitch at 7 o'clock on March 13th. It'll be here before you know it. Coach, what's the phrase that pays? What are we supposed to say? Cyclone?
Cyclone pride. Something to live by, Tom.
Cyclone pride. Something to live by. We'll see you March 13th. Again, looking forward to bringing Cyclone baseball right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page. Of course, that starts, as we said, coming up on March the 13th. We're looking forward to that against the Sullivan Central Cougars. It'll be here before you know it. Inside of a month now. We're 29 days we start baseball, and we are joined with a man who I guess you kind of know by looking at his sweater who he likes. That would be the Cincinnati Redlegs. Today, pitchers and catchers reporting today would include pitchers and catchers from Milwaukee, Cleveland, Seattle, Texas, Toronto, the Phillies, and the Washington Nationals are all reporting today. So tis the season. Spring training is here. It's pretty cool. Pitchers and catchers reporting. That's a good sign, and kind of get the old juices flowing. We're ready, aren't we?
Absolutely. This is a day we have been looking for quite some time. And
absolutely.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah. Great day. I don't know if I wore the red sweater because it's Valentine's Day or because I just wanted to celebrate spring training. I don't know which it was.
Either way it works. Pitchers and catchers reporting to most major league teams to spring training, which means warm weather's coming and going to stay here. Yay! Although it's pretty warm, I'll take this. It's pretty mild for this time of year around here in the hills of East Tennessee, and so we like it. We're here live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, talking to Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball update. So, since we've last visited, Darvish goes to the Cubs, 6 years, $126 million. The rest of the Central Division kind of shuddered. That's not real good if you're another team in the Central Division, which obviously the Reds are. So your take on Darvish going to the Cubs, I guess that really legitimizes that pitching staff, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I said was going to happen all along.
You did?
I said the Cubs were going to take Yu Darvish. They did. And, you know, that really has a big impact on a lot of things in baseball right now. And, you know, for one thing, it affects the Dodgers because they're the team that lost him that he was with last year. And, you know, so that affects them. You know, I guess the question is, are they in on any of these other free agents like Jake Arrieta, Lance Lynn, Alex Cobb? You know, the interesting thing is that leaves the Dodgers with 4 left-handed starting pitchers in their rotation for next year, which I think is kind of interesting. You don't see 4 lefties very often. A lot of times you might see 4 righties and a lefty, but it's rare to see 4 lefties in a starting rotation. So, I guess one of the questions is, what are the Dodgers going to do? What does this do to the market now for free agent starting pitchers? And I named the 3 really big names that are out there: Arrieta, Lynn, and Cobb. What's this do for them? The Brewers and the Twins, we know both were in on Darvish. They were looking for him as well. The Twins are really in need of pitching after Irvin Santana having to have surgery on his finger. So he's going to be out for a while. So that's a big deal for them. They are in desperate need of some type of pitching. What are the Yankees going to do now? They've got money to spend, I think, with Darvish and Todd Frazier now off the board. What are they going to do? The Nationals, we have to question what they're going to do now. Are they going to go out and get Jake Arrieta? Can you imagine, as the 5th man in their rotation? He probably wouldn't be there. He'd probably be about 3rd, but they already have 4 legitimate starters that are going to be there. So a lot of question marks right now. The thing about Arrieta and the Nationals, he's a Scott Boras guy, and the Nationals already have Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Gio Gonzalez, and Bryce Harper, who are also represented by Scott Boras. So, so they have some connections there. So who knows? I think it's going to be interesting in the next few weeks.
He's making money coming and going, this whole Scott boy. So you got a lot of guys that he's representing, then a lot of money flowing through his office, and he likes it that way, obviously, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. Here is the team. If you had to pick a free agent team right now, guys that are still unsigned in the National League, you start with, in the American League, you start with J.D. Martinez, Neil Walker, Carlos Gonzalez, John Jay would be in the National League lineup with Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Morrison, Carlos Gomez, and Eduardo Nunez in the American League. You got some of the guys still out there unsigned. You mentioned Jake Arrieta and Lance Lynn. Greg Holland would be anchoring the National League pitching staff. So Cobb and Andrew Kashner and Doug Fister and Jaime Garcia pitching for the American League. So interchangeable, all these guys. Bottom line is they're all unsigned. So, what are they doing? The pitchers and catchers are reporting. So the pitchers that are unsigned, do they go to the original team? Are they sitting at home? What do they do today?
They don't go to the original team because they're not.
They're not on that team anymore.
They're not on that team anymore. So they are. The players union said they're going to put together a spring training camp for unsigned players, which is sort of unheard of. That's never been done before, as far as I know. But they're going to say they're going to do that this year. These guys have been working out. Trust me, they're already in shape. They're ready to go. Maybe not at game level for opening day, but they're ready for spring training if somebody were to make that call and sign them. So a lot of these guys, I'll tell you what they do. They'll go home and work out with a high school or college team or something like that, and not be game ready, but be ready to step in and be game ready in a few weeks.
So are the agents, they're not calling places. The agents are, in this scenario, are the teams calling the agents, or the agents calling the teams that, look, I got Greg Salyer and Tom Taylor still sitting out here. We're ready to get these guys to go to work. Who's doing what? Who is taking charge of this scenario right now?
Yeah, I think there's some of both of that going on. I think the agents are, I don't think they're probably in desperation mode yet, but this is definitely an unprecedented season for free agents not being signed at this point. There's been probably more that have gone unsigned than have been signed at this point. And that's rare for Major League Baseball. So, they're making calls. The agents are making calls. The teams are making calls and just checking on players. The price for some of these guys is probably going down now that spring training is getting ready to start. Some of these teams are thinking, well, why not wait just a little while and see what happens?
So does it reach the point that the teams are saying, hey, you need us worse than we need you. We've gone to camp, so call me if you want to play. Otherwise, your stock's going down. What you wanted before ain't going to get what you wanted. And so I guess as far as a bargaining chip, the teams have the upper hand in this now, right?
Yeah, in a way they do. Scott Boras has even said that J.D. Martinez is willing to wait and well into spring training if he doesn't get the contract that he's comfortable with signing. I'm looking at it thinking, what does that mean? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, are you willing to wait till
Exactly.
June, perhaps, if you don't get the contract that you're wanting to sign? Because that may be where he will end up. It's an interesting scenario, but, some of these guys think very highly of themselves and think, hey, I should be making a whole lot more than what the teams are willing to pay at this point. And, we'll just wait and see. I mean, one of the guys that we could talk about a little bit is Eric Hosmer. A guy that the Padres and the Royals, we know that he has deals on the table if he wants them from those two teams. And they are not, they are not lowball deals. We're talking 7 years, $140 million range for Eric Hosmer to go and play either for the team that he's known all his career, the Royals, or the San Diego Padres. So he could go play for either one of those teams. He would like to. He's looking for more years. Now, granted, he is a young free agent. He's 28 years old. That's a little young for your first rodeo there in free agency. So he's looking for more years. He's looking for an 8 or 9 year contract. So from what I was reading, he is looking for a contract more along the lines of what Prince Fielder signed with the Tigers in 2012, or maybe that was a 9-year deal, or maybe the 8-year, $184 million contract that Jason Hayward signed with the Cubs. He's looking for something more like that, a couple more years because of his age. Now, in saying that that's the kind of deal he's looking for, if you think about both of those deals, the Prince Fielder deal and the Jason Hayward deal, I think both of those teams, if they could go back in time, would not have signed those contracts.
You don't think?
I don't think so. I mean, because think about it. Prince Fielder now is out of baseball due to injury, a neck injury that is so serious that they were fearful that if he were to be injured in a certain way that he could be paralyzed. Don't blame the man for retiring at that point. But, so he signed this 9-year contract in 2012. Now he's gone. He's not even there anymore. And Jason Hayward, great guy. I have a mutual friend with him who keeps me posted on him from time to time. Seems like a really good guy you'd like to hang out with. But let's face it, he has not produced for the Cubs in the way they thought he would in giving him that kind of money.
Talking to Greg Salyer, we're live again at Chick-Fil-A. Hello to Jerry Keller. Jerry says, good show, Tom. Go Braves. Thank you. Appreciate that. I want to say hello to Jerry McNeil and Jennifer Johnson and Elizabethan and John Fayez. I want to say hello to you as well. We're talking baseball, of course. Jeff Birchfield joins us coming up here in just a few minutes, talking NASCAR. Of course, he writes and covers NASCAR for the Johnson City Press. So there's a little thing going on this weekend called the Daytona 500 down in Florida. That's pretty big stuff. And, of course, he's got his ear to the ground. He came off of the NASCAR media tour a couple of weeks back in Charlotte, so he's got his ear very much to the ground on what's going on in NASCAR, and he will join us again coming up here in a few minutes. So I think the days of the 8-9 year contracts, I think those are gone. And it's pretty much been evident here because, I know Martinez won the big bucks for 5 or 6 years, and the Red Sox haven't bid on that yet. Darvish jumped out there, got a 6-year contract for $126 million, which I thought was kind of I wouldn't say it's a rarity, but I think going forward, am I right or wrong, you're going to see the owners say, whoa, we're not going to tie this money up with these guys for this long. And some of this is guaranteed, so whether they're hurt, not hurt, playing well, not playing well, those paychecks still comes. I think you'll see the owners, I think you're seeing it. They're kind of taking a different approach, like, we're going to kind of back out of this a little bit and not do what we've been doing before. Is that a fair statement?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the teams have learned from experience that they just can't continue to do this. Think about it. Bobby Bonilla is still receiving a paycheck from the Mets.
He's been out of baseball for
several years.
8-9 years at least.
I think it's longer than that.
Which is nuts.
More like 15. But he
crazy.
And Ken Griffey Jr. did that with his contract with the Reds. He signed a lot of deferred money there that he could continue to be paid well after retirement. Teams are going to stop doing that. I think they're going to look at this and they're going to say, hey, we've got to have more money freed up to get the players we need to win right now. And I think these long contracts, you look at them, and from a team standpoint, they just don't make sense. I mean, they really don't, because a lot of times you're paying a guy for what he's done in the past instead of what you're getting in the current season.
Hello to Kelly Essler, who is the coach of the year at Milligan College, the Appalachian Athletic Conference. She watches every day when she gets a chance, and what a sweetheart. Hello, Kelly, and happy Valentine's Day to you and your hubby. And again, it's, we're talking earlier, we always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and the verse I used today, you don't get any better than the example of love for Valentine's Day than John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. I mean, that's the ultimate example of love, to go up on that cross willingly for all of us. So that's our verse for the day, John 3:16. And again, we dedicate our show every day to the Lord and the man who hung on the cross, as I say. Got my fingers in his belt loops. So, and I figure wherever he's dragging me or taking me, I'm okay. I'm in good shape.
Belt loops. I've not heard that before.
Got my fingers in his belt loops and hanging on to the Lord. You better believe it. So anyway, hello to Kelly, and she's a sweetheart, and we appreciate her very much. And everybody out there today, happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. Hope you're receiving what you want for Valentine's. Hope you're giving to your Valentine what they want. So hope it's a good day for you. And really, any day is a good day. John 3:16. That's, to me, the central point of Christianity is John 3:16. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, so I'm really surprised Jake Arrieta is still out there. And you're telling me it's down to maybe the Brewers and the Twins. And, of course, the Twins, let's jump in there for just a second. The Twins and the city of Elizabethton have agreed to upgrade Joe O'Brien Field. Twins said, we'll give you $250,000 to $300,000. So, okay. City of Elizabethton goes to their people, city council, and they get a $1.5 million commitment from the city to upgrade Joe O'Brien Field. It's not been upgraded since '74. It's where the Elizabethton Twins play. Well, city council came out last week and said, look, we're going to give you to February 28th, which is 2 weeks from today, to come up with something, Minnesota. We haven't heard a thing from you. And so now they're kind of in a standstill. They're going to play there this year with the Elizabethton Twins, but the big club hadn't stepped up and either apparently contacted Elizabethton or certainly sent them a check. So they can't get things going over there as far as renovations like they want to. Of course, that's where we're going to be calling Elizabethton Cyclone baseball. They use Joe O'Brien Field or Stadium for their home field. But I'm saying all that to say the big club, the Twins, went out and they've obviously shopped and got some names, and they're trying to bolster their baseball team. And Jake Arrieta is one of the teams that are, they and the Brewers, you're telling me, are the two teams going after him. So Twins got some money to spend, so send us a check down to Elizabethton for about $300,000. How about it? Like you said you were going to. How'd I do? Did I do good?
Yeah, you did.
Thanks.
You did. Because I was really afraid that the city of Elizabethton wouldn't step up to the plate there, but they have.
But they did.
They did.
In a big-time way.
I'm really glad that they decided to do that and to keep the Twins there in Elizabethton. So let's hope that can be negotiated and worked out, and hopefully that check is in the mail.
Well, and for a city the size of Elizabethton to commit $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's big.
And you can
That's
look,
big.
I guess folks who would be against that would say, well, you can take that money and put it a lot of different other places in Elizabethton, but
Right.
they've committed that to make sure that happens with baseball. So, yeah, that's a heck of a commitment for a city the size of Elizabethton. So they've done their part. Quite frankly, it should have been turned around the other way. It should be Elizabethton coming up with a smaller amount, and the Twins have got that kind of money because look what they're doing here with the Jake Arrieta deal. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that one. So Arrieta's down to the Brewers and Twins, you think?
I think he'll go to one of those two teams. I think it'll be either the Brewers or the Twins. Now, I said earlier, I think the Nationals may be still in on him. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't hear something about the Phillies and the Cardinals in on Arrieta as well. I think those two teams would certainly like to have him as well. But with Lance Lynn and Alex Cobb still out there, I think those two guys may actually get signed before Arrieta because I think they're going to be seen as a better value for the buck.
Which means they're going to go cheaper.
Right. And let's face it, 2 years ago, who wouldn't have signed Jake Arrieta?
Mm-hmm.
But with the season he had last year, his velocity was down, his command of the strike zone was down, and I think teams are a little afraid of that.
So his stock's going down.
I think his stock's going down.
And his age is going up.
Yeah.
So let's face it, each year. Here's another question. I'm going to use JT Martinez. Let's do a hypothetical. Let's say this guy doesn't meet anybody's standards and he sets out the whole year. I don't say it's going to happen, but let's say one of these guys does not get signed for the kind of money they want. Said, okay, we're just going to sit out for the whole year. Does their stock go down for 2019? If you take a ball player that I would think would be rusty, but simply the fact that missing a year, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter, so you sit out a year. To me, because I did this, I can tell you firsthand, I sit out a year playing Little League Baseball. Then I don't want to play. My dad said, you're going to be way behind. You're going to lose your swing. You're going to lose everything. I said, oh. Well, guess what? Dad was right as usual. God rest his soul. So I was never the same because I sit out a year. So I lost my timing, lost my bat speed, lost all that. Same thing for the big club guys. Would their stock go down if they sit out a whole year?
Yeah, it would. It would. Now, here's what would happen. I think if one of these guys does happen to do something like that, I think maybe in late July, maybe August, their phone's going to start ringing. When there's some teams that are going to be buyers that are needing a bat, or you said Martinez. Let's say it's J.D. Martinez. There's going to be some teams that's going to need a bat, and they may come to him and say, "Hey, we'll give you this much to play for us for the rest of the season." He'd probably jump at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we're going to see any bargain deals like the Andre Dawson deal that time in Chicago, where he just basically signed a contract and said fill in the figure, and I think they gave him $600,000.
Mm-hmm.
I think those days are
because he just wanted to play. He didn't care.
He wanted to play.
Yeah.
And and had the season of his career that year. Won the MVP that year, by the way.
The Hawk.
I think those days are pretty much over.
Talking to Greg Sire, talking Major League Baseball. Got him for a few more minutes. Anything else you want to? I've got the top 10 along with Major League Baseball. College baseball's cranked up, and so I've got the top 10 college baseball teams heading into the start of the season, which they've already done. But anything else you want to bring to the table here? This guy obviously does his homework, and so
I found a real interesting article on Yahoo Sports, which I'm not a big reader of Yahoo Sports, but Yahoo Sports went out and found the MLB all overrated team.
This is going to be good. Okay.
You want to hear who's on the all overrated team?
Sure.
According to Yahoo Sports? Their catcher, because they started with catchers, so that's where we'll start. Guy that plays in St. Louis, Yadier
Molina. Wow. Okay.
A guy that a lot of people have said to me is going to go down in history as the greatest catcher of all time, and I just laugh, thinking, okay, yeah, he's probably a Hall of Famer, but
yeah,
I would never say greatest catcher of all time.
No. There's a guy named Bench that may be wearing that title, and there's some other guys
There's
too.
some other guys you'd put out there like Fisk too.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Pudge.
Yeah, those guys.
There's some. Yeah. Molina's not the greatest catcher of all time. I'm sorry.
So,
you Cardinal fans, don't get mad at me, but he may be top 10, but he's not the. All right, who else?
Okay, the first baseman, that's a little scary. Eric Hosmer, a guy who's a free agent who hasn't been signed yet. So
that's interesting.
Scott Boras doesn't want to hear that he made this list, but he did. So he's the top guy. Second baseman, guy from the Texas Rangers, Rougned Odor. A guy that he's the guy that slugged Bautista. Remember, that's the thing I remember him for more than anything. It's
a great way to be remembered.
Yeah,
Sucker punched a guy.
Yeah,
that's great.
He did. I won't say Bautista didn't deserve it, but he's the guy that slugged him. The shortstop, I've been saying this as long as he's been in the major leagues. Addison Russell,
the
for
Cubs.
The Cubs.
Yeah.
One of the most overrated players I think in baseball today. Good player, good solid. I think he hustles and everything, but just definitely not the player that a lot of teams think he is. Perhaps the third baseman is Longoria, Evan Longoria. Interested to see what he's going to do in San Francisco with some bats around him now too. He may come off this list if that happens. He's not had a whole lot of help in Tampa, so let's see what happens out there. Outfielders, Jose Bautista, we mentioned him earlier. A guy that you probably don't want if you're looking for an average guy. For power, yeah, he can hit for it, but this one surprised me. Jackie Bradley Jr. from Boston Red Sox.
Red Sox, overrated.
Yeah, that one surprised me.
This is the all overrated team, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, very good defensive player. I mean, one of the best, I think, defensively. But his slash line's not good. Overall 239 average, so not too good. Next outfielder, Matt Kemp. By the way, he showed up at spring training early and 40 pounds lighter. So I think he's come to play, hopefully, with the Dodgers.
Making a statement.
Yeah, so hopefully he can get off his list. I would like to see that happen for him. The DH, Mark Trumbo. I'll tell you what, I've been high on Trumbo. You heard me talk about him a lot last year. So that one was a little bit surprising for me. Yeah, he's not the speed guy. He's a power hitter, but he's a DH. So
we're talking Major League Baseball. Hello to Keith Barnett watching. Again, appreciate you very much. It's the all overrated baseball team. Got one more here. I know Birchfield's Matt Harvey, starting pitcher, the New York Mets.
Pitcher. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I have a feeling that has to do with the injury a lot. But he was a guy who we heard his name over and over and over and over again, and just hasn't reached the potential that everyone thought he would have. Another one's Sonny Gray, New York Yankees. He's another starting pitcher that they have here. So he was the ace in Oakland. He's gone to New York. We'll see what happens with that. The next one I thought was pretty funny. Bartolo Colon, who has signed a minor league deal with the Rangers now this year. The guy's 44. Come on, give him a break. He's fun to watch. Let's put it that way. Whether he's overrated or not, he's a fun player to watch.
Bartolo Colon.
And there's there's three relief pitchers. But I'll just give you the top name of the relief pitcher.
Aroldis Chapman. Wow.
Hard thrower. If he can command his pitches, he's lights out. If he doesn't, you never know what you're going to get.
Never going to get. Don't know what you're going to get. Here's the top 10 college baseball. Again, college baseball's cranked up, so here we go. Number 10, UCLA. Number 9, the national runner-up LSU. Number 8, the Kentucky Wildcats. Number 7, North Carolina. Number 6, TCU. Number 5, Arkansas. A lot of these you would see they're in the South. Number 4, the Seminoles of Florida State. Number 3, Texas Tech. Number 2 in college baseball, Oregon State. And the number 1 preseason team in all of college baseball, and with good reason, the national champions from a year ago, the Gators of Florida. Again, 52-19 a year ago. So that's your preseason top 10 college baseball. And so there you go. So we're excited. Pitchers and catches reported. Daytona 500s this Sunday. We got high school baseball in a month. It's all good, and I'm getting my Blue Lizard out to get slathered up for the warm weather. And I got a one-piece this year. It's going to just blow people's circuits. So I'm ready to go swimming. You ever remember the old one-piece men's swimming suits?
Oh, yeah.
I got me one.
Did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Coming off the high dive at Fishery Park in Irwin.
Yeah.
Doing the gator. I love it. Can't wait.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yes, you have.
I've seen you do it several times.
Yes, you have.
I've seen you do it with a Raiders cap on, too.
Yes, you did. I came off the high dive with a Raiders ball cap on and did a can opener and brought up lots of water up out of the pool.
There was a lot less water in the pool when you did it than there was before.
It's called gravity and girth. Are you hungry?
Yes, sir.
All right, great job. And we'll talk next week. His homework assignment, we're going to get into the Reds. We're going to break them down next week, see what he thinks. It will be a week into spring training, and we'll see what he thinks about his beloved Reds when we visit next week here at Chick-Fil-A. Quick break. We'll be right back. Greg Sawyer with us again. Our Major League Baseball update. Pitchers and catchers reported yesterday. Today we told you Brewers, Cleveland, Seattle, Texas, Toronto, Washington, and the Phillies pitchers and catchers have reported. More tomorrow, and the first workout for everybody really looks to be this Sunday and Monday. So they're getting into camp. It's pretty exciting stuff, and baseball is back for 2018. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll come back to show number 688 at Chick-fil-A, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner. on your vehicle?
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
I'm with head baseball coach Ryan, president of the Elizabethton Cyclones. And, Coach, we're very excited, my friend. We're getting ready to double the coverage of Cyclone baseball this year. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, too. I think it's a big step for our program. We really believe that getting out there what our kids do and letting the community know what we're doing and what we're up to is very important. The weather can be bad in the spring, and it doesn't matter to us if the weather's bad. We're going to play. We've played in snow. We don't really care about that. But watching baseball in the snow is pretty tough. So I think it's a really good opportunity for our fans to keep up with us. And really, we've got a lot of fans that live in different states. And I think you saw that from the coverage last year. People in all different parts of the country and the world watching and listening to Cyclone baseball. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely. And, of course, it all starts March the 13th against Sullivan Central. We got some great games lined up. And, hey, this year we're taking out on the road doing some games. Most of the games at Twin Stadium, but we are going to be on the road this year, some big conference games too.
Absolutely. You look early on, us at East, we battled last year with East, and a lot of the same players back on both sides of the field this year. So we're going to be battling with the East early on, and game at Happy Valley, obviously big in-county rivalry. That's also a conference tilt for us, and then going on the road down to Smoky Stadium. We're going to be playing Pigeon Forge in Jefferson County. Jefferson County goes to state tournament last year in 3A. We actually beat them last year, which was big for us. And, just trying to expand what we're doing here with the program, and this is a big part of it, and we appreciate you coming on board.
Oh, absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. And, of course, it takes sponsorship to make it go, to drive the bus, if you will. And so you've lined up some great sponsors. Tell us some of the folks that are going to be helping out with the broadcast this year.
We're going to be headlined by Chick-Fil-A. So they're going to be our headline sponsor for the season. Game night sponsors actually got Carter County Bank and Appalachian Community Federal Credit Union. Physical therapy services from here in town. Tri-Cities Health is a great little outfit over on the edge of town between Elizabeth and Johnson City. Just super folks. Blackburn Children's in Stegall over in Johnson City, and we've even got Elizabeth High School Fellowship of Christian Athletes is coming on board. We're really happy to partner with them. They do a lot of great things here in the community and in the school.
It all starts March 13th. Again, it's going to be the Sullivan Central Cougars, our first one. First pitch at 7 o'clock on March 13th. It'll be here before you know it. Coach, what's the phrase that pays? What are we supposed to say? Cyclone?
Cyclone pride. Something to live by, Tom.
Cyclone pride. Something to live by. We'll see you March 13th. Again, looking forward to bringing Cyclone baseball right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page. That would be inside of 30 days, 29 days out. We bring baseball to you. Again, it'll be Sullivan Central, the first game from Joe O'Brien Stadium, home of the Twins. It'll be Elizabeth and Cyclone baseball. We are joined by our buddy Jeff Birchfield is in the house. And good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
Doing well, Tom Taylor. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for stopping by and checking in with me. Keep cutting off the top of your head. Don't want that. I want that right there. There we go. A little bit better. So, goodness. Covering NASCAR for the Johnson City Press, among other things. So, we're ready to roll. What do you think? Alex Bowman sitting on the pole, Junior's old number and Junior's old car. Pretty good start for the new guy. What do you think?
Good start for him, but pointed out, I think, in today's race notes in the Johnson City Press and Kingsport Times News, so I'll get that plug in. But be like those drivers with their sponsors there, you see. But honestly, though, I think in the 500, sometimes the pole winners really haven't had a lot of success. I think you got to go all the way back to 2000 with Dale Jarrett won the Daytona 500 from the pole for the last pole winner.
So that's a good trivia question. Last one, the one from the pole was Jarrett. Back in 88?
In 2000, yeah.
2000.
And then the year before that, Jeff Gordon did in 99, but since then, no one's done it, so it's been a long dry spell.
So Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin on the front row for the Daytona 500. The Can-Am duels tomorrow night. I've got the list here in Duel 1. These are two, 60-lap races, 150-mile races, 60 laps at Daytona. In Duel 1 is Alex Bowman, Jimmy Johnson, William Byron, all from Hendrick, Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Joey Logano, Eric Amarola, Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, Brad Kozlowski, Rocket Ryan Newman, Jamie McMurray, Darrell Wallace, Bubba Wallace, Ty Dillon, Chris Buescher, Brendan Gaughan, Justin Marks, Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Gillian, and Greg Gaulding is in that first duel. Anybody jump out at you in that particular group?
Well, probably Jimmy Johnson's there on the outside poles, been running well, but then, like I had in the press, really, the Fords have been really strong at Daytona. You got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. one down there in July, so I would think he would be a guy you'd have to look at, as well as Joey Logano, who won the Daytona 500 back in 2015.
So Penske's bunch, namely Kozlowski and Logano, ran very well Sunday in the Clash. Is that a good psychological boost for that team, or doesn't really mean anything?
No, I think it definitely means something. Joey Logano really had a terrible finish to 2017. He started off so strong, and then the end of the year, after he had that race that they called Encumber, which means they took the points away, and all that after found the legal stuff last year at Richmond. He really never was back to form after that.
We're talking to Jeff Birchfield again, who covers NASCAR for the Johnson City Press and the Kingsport Times News. Duel 2, here's your lineup. Of course, Denny Hamlin will be on the front row. He, along with teammate Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Paul Menard, Austin Dillon, Clint Boyer, Casey Kane, Trevor Bayne, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, points champion from a year ago, Martin Truex Jr., Danica Patrick, A.J. Allmendinger, Matt DiBenedetto, DJ Kennington, Mark Thompson, Corey LaJoie, and David Reagan. Who do you like in that one, duel number 2?
I think you've got to go those Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas. They're up front. I mean, they've really looked strong. And, Denny Hamlin, he's won the 500 before. And I sort of think this might be the year that Kyle Busch finally gets the Daytona 500. I like him really, Daytona 500 and the championship this year.
Our local guy, Trevor Bain out of Knoxville, big Christian, love following him, and he's very outspoken about his faith. Want him to do well this year. What do you think is going to happen for Trevor Bain for Roush Fenway Racing this year?
Well, I think he's definitely a lot of pressure is on Trevor this year. He's got to perform this year. I mean, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is able to come through with a couple wins on the restrictor plate tracks, and Trevor typically runs well at Daytona and Talladega. He's got caught up in a lot of wrecks down there over the years, but he actually does, that is one of his better tracks as far as, the Roush program seems to be good at those restrictor plate raceways.
Some of the celebrities for the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Peyton Manning has been announced. He will be the honorary pace car driver for the Daytona 500. And Charlize Theron, I've heard it pronounced both, the movie star, she's going to be down there as well, part of the, it's almost like a who's who down there, isn't it?
It is, and Aaron Rodgers is now dating Danica Patrick, so maybe he and Peyton Manning could have like a 5-lap match race before, the race starts or whatever. Might be a good idea. You'd have the number 18 car and the number 12 car, so there we go.
This guy's hilarious. I don't know where to go with that one. We're talking to our buddy Jeff Birchfield again from the Johnson City Press Kingsport Times News. Sponsorship very tough for these drivers now, and yet Chase Elliott announced yesterday that Napa agreeing to a 2-year extension through 2020. Also increases Napa's number of races as a primary sponsor for the number 9 of Chase Elliott. So NASCAR and obviously Napa, a lot of folks are putting a lot of hope and they're putting a lot of optimism on Chase Elliott. Think he can come through?
Yeah, I think he can come through, and I mean that's bodes well for the sport. You've got that young guns, as they're calling them. Now, I mean those guys are. It's time for those guys to start shining and all that. I mean they're in the opportunities now. Some of them in the best cars, like Chase in that car. Of course, talked to Alex Bowman and William Byron in the 24 car that Jeff Gordon used to drive. So, those guys, they've all got great opportunities now.
Now, the old guard has said the Kyle Bushes, the Kurt Bushes, Newman, some of the older guys said, wait a minute, all season, all we heard about is about the young guns. They haven't done anything yet. They haven't won anything. The young guys say, look, we're the new face of NASCAR. We're the ones going to put people in the seats because, we're the guys everybody's kind of following. You're in the media. I'm in the media. Which one's right? Which one's wrong? Or are they both right?
They're both right to some degree. And, I mean, I was down there in Charlotte during the media tour when all that was going back and forth. But, some of the younger guys pointed out, about 10 years ago, you had the Gillette Young Guns of NASCAR, deal that they promoted. So, I mean, now that the shoe's on the other foot, some of those guys have been around the sport a while. They're whining a little bit that the young guys are, getting all the credit, and they've not done anything.
Next Saturday, by the way, we're going to be at the Johnson City Mall because it'll be Kingsport Speedway at the Johnson City Mall. We'll talk about some local short track racing coming up here in just a few minutes. Don Jeff Birchfield, you were at the tour last month, the NASCAR tour in Charlotte. So what did you come away with there? You saw and talked to a lot of drivers, a lot of teams. You got a chance to get in there and get up close and personal. What did you come out of there with?
Well, I mean, sort of, it is just such a change in time in the sport because, that tour you didn't have the Dale Juniors, you didn't have Jeff Gordon, you didn't have Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, some of the big draws, of previous years. So the sport is, they say, looking to the future. I mean, the future's here for NASCAR now.
So Jimmy Johnson, they call him Grandpa. I'm not hearing a lot about Johnson. I'm not hearing a lot about Martin Truex. The guy won. He's a champion, defending champion. Don't hear a lot about him either. Of course, Danica's kind of made the headlines. She didn't really do much down there last Sunday in the Clash. So the young guns very much are dominating the headlines. Why isn't Jimmy Johnson getting more pub? This guy's 7-time champion.
I think a lot of it is just his personality, but you would think really the guy going for his 8th championship, that would be the major storyline in the sport. But I think also the fact that Chevrolet struggled so bad second half of last year, although now they have debuted the new Camaro. So, I mean, I think he's definitely a contender to win that 8th championship this year.
Say hello to your buddy Keith Barnett. He says, hello, Jeff.
Hello, Keith.
Looking at that camera, say hello to him.
Hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith. We broke bread together, what, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that long. It's maybe 3 or 4 yelling down to the firehouse that day.
Got some chow back in the day. That was 3 or 4 years ago. So We need to take you boys out to Phil's Dream Pit.
Sound-
Turn you all loose out there so getting some barbecue.
Sounds good. We can do some damage to it.
Oh, we can do some damage. You better believe it. We're talking again to our buddy Jeff Birchfield. So, Danica's a one trick pony. She'll come back and do the Indy later on in the season. Natalie Decker, what are you hearing about this young lady? She's the ARCA driver, and I've read today, and they're starting to put a lot of hope on her being the next up-and-coming female driver. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to tell till she progresses through some of those higher ranks, like the Truck Series or like the, Xfinity Series, I mean, because running in ARCA, is one thing, but once you get at every level, the competition just gets that little bit tougher.
The strategy to win the Daytona 500, stay out of trouble. I mean, I know you've been down there to cover it for many years, so what amongst the drivers, because it's one of the super speedways along with Talladega, obviously, what is the strategy for these teams to hang around and win the 500?
Well, that is the main thing, is stay out of trouble the first, bit of the race, and then there at the end, you've got to time your move just right, and hope there's not the multi-car wreck, The thing with those restrictor plate races, you never know what is the right strategy. You want to be out front there on that final lap, or we've seen guys come from as far back as 6th place on the final lap and end up winning the Daytona 500. So, I think it's important for teammates to work together, but that being said, generally speaking, when it comes down to that final lap, you rarely see teammates hanging together in the draft. It's every man for himself at some point there.
You got it, because that's one of those races everybody wants to say they get a trophy from, is to say they won the Daytona 500. Kurt Busch, the defending champ of the race. Not hearing much about Busch. This guy won it last year, and not hearing a whole lot about the 41 car right now.
No, and they've really placed a lot of emphasis on this particular race. Kurt feels like he's got a car can win it again, and that's, be a big accomplishment. The last guy to win back to back Daytona 500, you got to go all the way back to Morgan McClure days here up in Abden with Ernie Irvin in 94 and 95. Or not Ernie Irvin, I mean Sterling Marlin.
This guy's forgot more than most people know about NASCAR. He's been covering them for how many years?
Probably about 22 or 23 years now.
It's a long time. It's a lot of laps around the track. We are 59 days away from the Saturday racing on April the 14th at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're 60 days, obviously, away from Jimmy Johnson back into the defending crown of the world's last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. They are busy up there getting ready. We're at 60-day marks. It'll be here before you know it. Can't wait to go racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. And so it all starts this weekend at the Daytona 500. Psychologically, if you go down there and lay an egg, I mean, you're out 5 or 10 laps into the race, you're done for the day. Doing well or doing bad of the Daytona 500 for these NASCAR teams, does that set the bar for the rest of the year?
I think doing well does more for the team than doing bad does against the team, because if you win the Daytona 500, like Kurt Busch last year, and you don't win another race all season, still your season's a success, because it is such a big event. If you don't win down there, they always, as a restrictor plate race, we got caught up in this and that, and guys are pretty good about bouncing back after that. We've seen guys before finish last in the Daytona 500 and come back the next week at Atlanta, I guess is where they race now, but come back in that second race of the year and end up winning the race, So the guys are usually, pretty mentally tough as far as that.
What if Danica hauls off and wins this thing this time around? Her last Daytona 500. If she wins it, or let's say she does top 2 or 3. If you're GoDaddy.com, do you ride that marketing crest and say, hey, can we woo you to come out there and race some more? Because, we can take and run with this, because let's face it, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've heard a lot about GoDaddy.com. We're getting a lot of publicity because Danica's running this race. If she does well, does that give them an impetus to say, hey, let's keep you out there for a couple of races, or not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they may say, hey, let's do the Daytona 500 again, next year or whatever, if she would perform that well.
On the local scene, tough announcement. Track says they're not going to run this year. That's kind of tough news. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Lonesome Pine Raceway, been hearing those rumblings for the last few weeks, and they finally confirmed it on their Facebook page yesterday that there will be no 2018 season at Lonesome Pine. And really, asphalt short track racing struggling around here, other than Kingsport Speedway, which has got a great program on Friday nights, but on Saturday nights, you no longer have racing at Lonesome Pine. You don't have it in Motor Mile. You don't have it in Newport. Raceway. Really, the closest track to the Tri-Cities, closest tracks are Hickory Motor Speedway down there, a couple hours away from Johnson City here, and then also a couple hours away, Greenville-Pickens Speedway down in South Carolina. So, guys have to travel a little ways now if they're, have asphalt late model cars,
So I would think, by virtue of the fact they're shutting down at Lonesome Pine for 2018, the car count should go up even more at Kingsport Speedway, wouldn't you think?
You would think so. I mean, because Kingsport, they've got a great program over there. The racing's exciting and all. The thing with Lonesome Pine, I really thought they might have a shot of making it, because you had both the, like I said, Newport, where they're not running, and Motor Mile, and those were, both tracks that you would have racers, pull a few from Lonesome Pine. So, but just never know in this day and age.
Look right there, look at that handsome booger. You see him in live and you see him on the paper. Jeff Birchfield, Fords look strong at Daytona. And so we talked about that with the Penske and the other Ford drivers. So we'll find out come Sunday how strong they are. Then on the front page, I don't know if I'm even going to do this right. There it is, this big picture. Am I getting it? Yeah, there it is. There's a picture of Mikhail Bright of the Crockett Pioneers as they eliminated Tennessee High in the boys tournament. But there's a picture of Mikhail Bright taken by
Jeff Birchfield.
The steady hand of Jeff Birchfield. So this guy not only covers the games, but takes pictures as well. You got two more down there tonight. Tell me about those games in the AAA tournament.
AAA tournament starts 6 p.m. tonight. You've got Dobbins Bennett girls, who the number 3 seed will be playing the number 6 seed Volunteer, who beat Homestand and David Crockett earlier in the week. Then the boys game afterwards should be a dandy. He's got Daniel Boone up against Cherokee, and Daniel Boone's could make a run in the tournament now. They've got one of their best players, Chad Hegler, come back. He'd been hurt the last few weeks, and he's one of their main offensive threats along with Eric Grigsby, so they're a pretty good 1-2 combination for the Trailblazers.
Were you surprised Tennessee High got knocked out? Both guys and girls are gone. I don't think that's happened very often. Usually one of them's playing. But they both got upset or knocked out, and so Tennessee High boys and girls are done for the year.
Yeah, I mean, the Tennessee High Crockett game was pretty much figured to be a toss-up because, Crockett playing at home and all, and they're really got some good athletes on that team. But on the other hand, Tennessee High, you've covered them a lot over the years. They'll go in that 2-3 zone, and they're really tough to score against when they play that zone defense.
Robbie Witcher teaches that 2-3 zone. It's tough. It's airtight, tough to get in there. But Crockett found a way and eliminated Tennessee High, and the girls were beaten as well. So the rest of the AAA tournament, how do you look at it shaking out before it's all said and done?
Well, I think on the boys' side, the favorites have to still be Dobbins Bennett and Science Hill, although, if Boone wins tonight, you've got, like I said, they've got 3 legitimate scoring threats, and then Crockett's going to be playing Science Hill at home, and that's always a heated rivalry when those guys are playing, especially there on Crockett's home floor. And then on the girls' side, Science Hill and Daniel Boone been the 2 dominant teams all year, but Dobbins Bennett's pretty good too, and they've got maybe one of the top 2 or 3 players in the entire league with Courtney Whitson.
Of course, you'll be able to read Jeff's accounting of the games in both the Johnson City Press and the Times News. So here's what you got going on tonight. Daniel Boone Cherokee at 7:30, the AAA tournament. AA tournament, Sullivan East boys, the number 2 seed taking on the Happy Valley Warriors of Chuck Babb, the number 7 seed. That's at 7:30 in Elizabethton. In Southwest Virginia, J.I. Burton and Rye Cove. And Eastside and Thomas Walker in the Cumberland District Tournament being played at UVA Wise. The girls' tournaments, again, AAA tonight, as Jeff talked about. Number 3, Dobbins Bennett. The Lady Indians will take on Volunteer at 6 o'clock. That's at Crockett. The AA tournament tonight, the number 2 seed, the Lady Rebels of Sullivan South, with Tori Hale, taking on the number 7 seed of the Lady Warriors of Happy Valley. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. Then the Mountain 7 District Tournament, again at Wise Central High School. Ridgeview and Abington in the early game at 6 o'clock, and Wise Central and Union in the second game at 7:30. So it's tournament time, obviously. Some will keep moving on, some will go home, and so every bounce, every dribble, every shot, every play, it's critical because it could mean the end of someone's season if they don't play well, right?
Yeah, tonight's game is definitely elimination games, and then if you can advance there, then no matter what you do the rest of the week, you advance to next week's region tournament.
Before I let you go, we talk Monster Energy. Let's talk Xfinity Series. Who do you like going into that series? They're getting ready to roll off, and they've got practice coming up tomorrow, as well as the Camping World Truck Series, the triple header this weekend in Daytona. Who do you like to be at the top of the Xfinity Series this year, and also the Truck Series?
Xfinity Series, I may go with Christopher Bell, who actually won the Truck Series championship last year. He's really an up-and-coming driver, done a great job. And then in the Truck Series, I may go with the veteran, Matt Crafton. He come close last year, and I think, that team's just got so much championship experience, they'll be hard to beat.
What do you want to leave us with today, my friend?
Just talking those tournaments, it's always good to get out there. Always the games are more fun to cover, when you have the big crowds and all that. So I'm looking forward to big crowds out there the rest of this week.
Yeah, Crockett High School. AAA tournament, boys and girls. The regional will be down at, I believe, Jeff County next week, the regional. The AA regional will be at Chucky Doak, and the single A regional, I can't remember. I have to do my homework. I can't remember where that's at.
I can't remember either, honestly.
No, I don't know what I did 2 hours ago, except I got on here and started talking sports. You hungry, big dog?
Yes, sir.
All right, get you something good to eat, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Jeff Birchfield with us again, the Johnson City Press, the Kingsport Times News, and that's going to do it from here. We have ran through and had a big time here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show number 688. I want to say thanks to my man Jonathan, who stopped by a little bit earlier. Jonathan Chapman from the BCM again at East Tennessee State. Zach James with the ETSU Con 2018, the big gaming show coming in this weekend, a 2-day event at East Tennessee State University. Zeb Copas from Sprint, and they got some deals going on now. The generation, or not the Generation M, but the, oh gosh, I just went totally blank. iPhone 10, $30 a month for a new activation, $30 a month for the 10, and so you can't beat that. Also, the SA8, you can lease one and get one right now. That's a great deal as well. So there's lots of different specials going on, as you heard him talk about again at the Sprint store in front of Longhorn Steakhouse in Johnson City, here in Johnson City. Of course, Greg Salyer, always a great job talking Major League Baseball. He's right on top of it. He's got the his ear to the ground, his finger on the pulse of Major League Baseball. Great report as always. And just now, Jeff Birchfield, our buddy from the Johnson City Press. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet, full show there. Then Friday we'll be right down the road at Food City. Again, we'll be ready to go on a Food City Friday. We'll be live at Food City in Boones Creek on Friday. So always have a good time. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for liking it, and certainly share it to your friends on your Facebook page, and we'd appreciate that very much. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours, and so until we greet you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Champion Chevrolet, for all of our guests, this is Tom Taylor telling you as always from Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.